Good evening, everyone. I'm Ellie, I'm pretty sure you remember. And yes, welcome to Mondays on the Soybean Experience. So we're done with the introductory week. We survived the first week, so now we are all pretty much free to talk about whatever we want. But before I begin, I'll just tell you the context of what I'm going to be speaking about this week. I bought a ticket to Fall Out Boy, who have been one of my favourite bands since I was probably about 10 years old, and I've missed them every single time they've come here. The first time around pretty much be because I was only 14 and my parents didn't want me to go by myself, and the second time just after they came back from their hiatus, I slept through the pre-sale and completely forgot about the tickets being sold in general, which was really bad. Before you start asking what exactly is the context of this video, it is some concert nostalgia, because Fall Out Boy are officially the 10th concert ticket I've bought this year. Not my 10th concert exactly, but the 10th concert's going to be Warped Tour, which is at the start of December, but the 10th concert ticket I have bought this year, which is a big milestone for me. If we look at the numbers of all the concerts that I've been to since 2007, which was my first concert, and the 27th of July, which is my last concert, I have seen 45 bands. I have seen 6 of these bands more than once. I've been to 3 festivals and 11 shows per se. And if we look into the future, I have 5 more concerts before the end of the year and 1 concert already at the start of next year. So for the next part of the video, I just decided to cull it down to 6 of the best bands that I have had the privilege of seeing over the past 6 years now. So the first lot of these 6 bands was the first band that I ever saw back when I was a 12-year-old. And I have had the privilege of seeing them 3 times, as well as having the privilege of meeting them as well. Who is this band? It's My Chemical Romance. All I can say about seeing My Chemical Romance was that they probably put on one of the best shows of my teenage years. Just so spectacular live, and everything about them was just perfect. They play their songs amazingly. They sound exactly the same as they do on all their records. The first time around I saw them, they played primarily stuff from the album they were touring for, The Black Parade. But when I saw them in 2012, the 2 times I saw them in 2012, they sang records from everything, from all their old albums to the new album, and it was just such a good show. An added bonus to it all, I got to meet them as well, and they were pretty nice, and it was just a dream come true, getting to meet your favourite band. I don't think many people can say that they've been able to do that, only the pretty lucky people do, and I'm glad that I was one of those lucky people. Okay, the next band on this list of the best bands that I've ever seen live is peeping over my left shoulder, pointing to them there, and you can see the name on my wristband as well, slightly upside down, but whatever. And they have been one of my favourite bands since I was 5 years old, and they are Blink-182. Regardless of all the hype surrounding the attempt to bring Travis Barker to Australia, which ended up being a little bit of a failure, the 2 times that I saw them at the start of this year were possibly 2 of the best shows. Not so much at Soundwave. There's something a little bit off at Soundwave about their set, but the night that I saw them at the Sydney Myer Music Ball was simply the best night of my life. Seeing your childhood unfold right in front of you, singing until your throat hurt, and just laughing at the antics of Mark and Tom. It was absolutely amazing, and it was a little bit of a shame that Travis couldn't be there to make the experience all the better, but Brooks, who filled in for him, did an amazing job, and it was virtually as if Travis was actually there. The next 2 bands that I'm going to talk about, I'm kind of going to talk about them together but separately, because I have seen both of these bands at the start of this year, and I'm seeing them for a second time in the next few months. The first of these bands that I'm going to be talking about is All Time Low, who are coming back for a second time this year in the next few weeks, and I think bar 2 shows, everything is sold out. So I'm writing my will as I speak because I am absolutely terrified of the all-time low mosh. But it was terrifying. Both times I've seen them already, I have almost died. I swear on my life. But they nevertheless put on pretty amazing shows, and the songs are really catchy. They're pretty much anthems. And the second band that I was going to talk about is Of Mice and Men, who were absolutely mind-blowingly amazing. I've never seen such an amazing band, and such a small band who I thought were relatively known, unknown kind of thing, but they pulled in an amazing crowd, and the band just have such an amazing flair performance. And Austin Carlisle, God, he seems like one of the scariest people on stage, but you see him as completely, you know, the nicest guy ever. You can see him in between songs, then he starts singing, he opens his mouth, and it's just, whoa, just wall of emotion pretty much. So I saw them for the first time in February, and it was really good. I saw them with my best friend, and Austin Carlisle just interacted with the crowd so great, so I said, why the heck not? So lo and behold, I got tickets to go see them and Bring Me the Horizon at the start of October. I'm almost done, I swear. I think I have 2 more bands to talk about, and then that's it. And then I'll leave you to carry on with your lives and stop boring you with my fangirl adventures, I promise. Okay, so the next band I was technically supposed to be seeing last Saturday, but due to some circumstances, the concert got cancelled or postponed until the 28th of March next year. That band was 30 Seconds to Mars, who I have already seen once, and, French, sorry. They were pretty darn good live. They have such iconic songs, the rock anthems pretty much, and I saw them during the This Is War cycle, and that was part of now a world record for the longest tour of one album. So I feel like I'm in some part of history right now for the band. Out of like the 300 and something shows they did, I was at one of them. Right on. Anyway, but same goes. The whole band have just such an amazing presence live. Everything sounds almost identical to what it does on the record, and I think for anyone who enjoys music, should have 1 or 2 bands that they can always rely on to come back and do lots of little shows around the place, preferably a local band, because they're usually the ones that never let you down. I have one of those bands, and they're called The Getaway Plan. I'm pretty sure everyone knows who they are, I think, except for a few people, just because they're silly. But you know the song, if I've learned anything from this, it will all be gone. Why am I singing for you? Ignore that. But I've seen them 6 times. I saw them for the 6th time on the 27th of July, and that was the closest I've ever been to the stage. Any of their shows, I just get closer and closer and closer every time I see them. Bet you eventually I'll end up on the stage and get subsequently kicked off and have to start the cycle all over again. But anyway, yeah, they're always really good. I want to see if I can end up seeing them 10 times, just for saying that I've seen a band 10 times. And funnily enough, considering I've met them so many times, I've never met them, which is a bit funky, but oh well. Always really good shows. Definitely check them out. I think they're having a show on the 7th, if you live in Melbourne, the 7th of September, at Bang, so go check them out if you can, because once you see them, you'll never want to go see any other band again, I can tell you. Anyway, I think that mini-movie is now done. It's not as long as Katie's video the other day, though. Sliding. Anyway, I'm really mean. So yeah, stay tuned for more videos during the week. Katie's on Thursday, Jen's tomorrow, and Nikki, our favourite resident ranger, is on Friday. And yeah, I'll be back next Monday with some more dopey adventures, music-y things, whatever floats my boat. But yes, see you then. Bye. Just give me a reason, just a little bit's enough. Just a second, we're not broken, just bad, and we can learn. You guys totally want to hear me sing.